Welcome back, everybody, to the Boardman Gets Paid podcast. I'm your host, Andre Lindo, at Lindo Cafe on Twitter. And we got Regular Shells in the building. What's up,
Yeah,
Regular Shells?
I'm here, man. What's going on? Fresh off
I'm
of
there. I've been living my life like it's golden.
that's it, man. Fresh off of watching the amazing tank session from the Raps.
We'll
You know,
talk about that today. Just
okay.
it's been tough watching it in the last few weeks, and sorry about everyone about the last
Yeah,
week. We usually do it
we're
weekly.
not trying to cover those games. Those games are trash.
Those games were
There's no
trash,
point.
man. Let's get
No point.
this.
No point.
Yeah, so Raptors in the last 6 games. Oh my gosh. They're trying to tank, yet they're not trying to tank. Does that make sense to you?
It's a very interesting space to be in where
Yeah.
you're in NBA purgatory in terms of your team is not great, but you're not bad enough
Yeah.
to really tank your way into a top pick. And when I say a top pick, I mean like a top 3 pick.
Yeah.
Top 4 pick, right? It's looking real 5 to 7 ish right now in terms of
Which
the
is
draft.
I'm gonna show you a spreadsheet I made today. But like
Oh, the
first
odds?
things first. No, not it's not odds. It's
Oh,
more about what teams have done that were
hmm
placed in the seventh
okay,
and what they actually drafted.
right.
So I think the Orlando games, we shouldn't have won those games, bro. Like, I mean,
Well, shout out to Franz Wagner. Was it Franz or was it Mo? One of them.
France, it was France.
Wide open layup. I
Ugh,
mean, Orlando's not trying to tank. Orlando's supposed to be a playoff team.
yeah,
They had some injuries. The
they
guys
beat
came back.
Cleveland today, though.
Yeah, that was a good game.
Yeah,
But they have not you know, gotten back to that level they were at the beginning of the year, where Paulo was playing out of his mind, Franz and those guys were playing great.
yeah.
Um, they look they look weird. Those two Raptors games. It
I don't
almost felt
know,
like they were tanking.
bro.
You know
It
what I
made me so mad. Like,
mean?
especially that first game and
Yeah,
then the second game. Both were very similar. And bro,
yeah, yeah.
look at the two games. Look what happened. We
Mm-hmm.
went from last
Mm-hmm.
to third. 2 games, bro. Two
Essentially,
games.
yeah, yeah.
And then we're
Because
not losing to Utah because
no, I don't think anyone's losing to Utah right now. Utah is probably the worst team in the
yeah.
league. I think even Washington is a better team than them right now.
I was surprised we lost to Washington.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised though. I said I don't know if they're trying to tank or if they're just trying to win, but they're just really bad. I don't know
In
which one.
my idea, they've tanked enough to be like really bad. They could have won those 2 games and they still would be in this position they are.
For
But
sure.
instead, we got wins. We went on a 6 game, like 6-1 in the last 7, except we ended up losing to Portland today, which
Hmm.
was
It's a
thank God they lost.
great tank move, man. It was a they say like coaches drop X and O's. That
Yeah,
was like an X and O masterclass of tank.
yeah.
you
and,
know,
and we got some help from Anthony Simons
yeah,
and what's his name,
that 3-point
Carrera.
shooter, man.
Carrera.
He had like
I like
six
him.
threes. He had like 6 threes tonight, lefty.
Yeah, he was
But
wide open at the corner every time.
hello, like I said, X's and O's for
Hey,
tank.
hey. I don't know if that's an X and O thing. That right there,
No,
they've been
no.
doing that all
Well,
year.
yeah, I'll say it's the next note thing because at the beginning of the game we were shutting
Yeah,
them down. I
yeah,
think we had like a 15-point lead at one time,
yeah.
16-point lead, and then Masai gave the text from the BBM and said, "Hey, hey, hey, remember the plans here, guys. Remember the plan."
Besides just, and it was like we needed them to win it. Like it wasn't like they're gonna give it away,
Yeah,
right? But still, man. Like,
and then again, like the Raptors were playing really well at the beginning. Scotty had a great first quarter,
mhm.
or first half. Like he was on his way to a triple double,
I
and they
just
said,
feel though, Scotty.
"Whoa,
I
drop back."
think Scotty's on the he's on the level. Like he did some terrible turnovers in that third quarter,
Yeah,
and I'm
well,
just like,
again, the Raptors are not playing with two of their starters, plus
yeah,
Grady's out, plus Ingram is out, plus he lost, a few rotational players. So he's really out there with guys he hasn't really played with all year,
yeah, but
right? Outside of
he's throwing the ball away. Like these were unforced
that's
turnovers.
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You're not playing with the guys that you're used to, so
yeah,
things are a little out of whak for him.
yeah,
Um, Still had a great game, but Yeah, those
Yeah, did
tournaments
he?
were ugly.
Did he have 6 steals? I think he had 6 steals.
Something like that. Yeah, it was kind
Yeah,
of
he was pretty
ridiculous.
good.
Yeah, and to be honest, the stat line across the board on both teams
Yeah,
were kind of ridiculous. Like I think the big for Portland had like 15 rebounds with like 4 points or something like that. It
yeah.
was pretty wild across the board.
I'm still on the case that he's not a great. Like he shouldn't have been drafted that high.
Who's that?
Like McClinning,
Oh,
the 7'3" guy. I don't think he was that good.
so the problem with a lot of teams is that they select players for potential, and this is why I'm saying like we have a chance to, you know, might steal a good player out this draft
Mhm.
because I don't trust these bottom feeding teams to make the right moves
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
draft. You know what I
I don't
mean?
know. Like when we look at the tankathon, because let's just take a look
The
at the
tank.
tankathon right now. Yeah, this is the website everyone's been on. Right
Yeah, yeah.
now, we are seventh, and I want to let people know seventh is
Purgatory.
it's not the best position, man. Like if
You're gonna get a serviceable role player out there.
yeah,
You're not getting a generational talent at 7 unless somebody, you know, turns into something amazing. But
yeah.
the for sure picks are at the top 4, man. I'm sorry.
So quickly, I made this today before we got up, right? So
Mm.
here are all the teams for the last 10 years that came seventh. They finished seventh, and
Right.
this is what they got.
Who's
So
the best
kind
player
of
on this list right here?
sorry, who's the what?
Who's the best player out of this list on this list?
Um,
To you,
I would go
yeah,
Scotty
close
Barnes, and
to Zion.
then yeah, very close to Zion. But in this level, right?
Mm-hmm,
The thing was that we stayed at seventh. Forty
mm-hmm,
percent of players, 40% of these people went to
hmm.
came seventh. So, and in
That's
that seventh, the best pick was Jamal Murray. Like
mm.
Mamadou Endai, oh, Emmanuel, yeah, that wasn't good.
That
But
draft.
Jamal,
What year? Do you remember what year that Jamal Murray draft? I think that was a pretty deep
that was a
draft.
deep draft. Yeah, that was a
Yeah,
deep draft.
yeah, yeah.
That was the 2015, 2016 draft. That's a good
Okay,
draft.
okay.
That's with Jalen Brown, I think. Jalen
Jalen.
Brown won third.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
When you said Jalen Brown, I don't know why I didn't go. My mind didn't go there. I went to Jalen Brunson. I was like, what?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
But this was the worst one. Nick Stauskas. That was-
Ugh. You know, promising guy, man. He had a couple good games in college, but
Come on, bro.
he
You
was
don't
not a
pick.
lottery pick. Not a
Was
lottery
he
pick.
over 6'4"? I don't even think so, bro.
Uh, who knows? Who knows? Shout out
So,
to Stauskis.
but like, this is where I think maybe the fourth. I think I'm praying for the fourth pick.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Praying for the fourth pick, but we still have a chance. There's a chance, man. We got that
There's always
first
a
pick from
chance.
seventh.
There's always a chance,
There's
and
always a chance.
I think again, you know, there's a couple things that are, you know, will be helpful in this. If the ping pong balls bounce a certain way, you know what I mean. That's always a chance, and also, like I said before, one of these teams at the top, or
Yeah,
not at the top, but at the bottom, technically, make a mistake. You know, some might be drafting for position, some might be drafting or trading because they got an overload of whatever the same player. You never
yeah,
know, right?
yeah,
And when it comes to draft time, there's a lot of GMs and a lot of executives, a lot of
mhm,
owners as well that, you know, get iced. You know, the pressure's on, the clock is on. You're listening to quote unquote experts and analysis, an analyst, and they're talking about, oh, this team should draft for this position and should draft. You know, Detroit famously in the LeBron draft, Darko Milicic. You know, it could have Carmelo Anthony with that team.
Oh man,
You know what
that
I'm
would have
saying?
been
So like, so a lot of teams, I don't put faith in these bottom feeding losers,
yeah,
right? That have you know, for the last 10 years plus have been in NBA, in the NBA basement, right? The
yeah.
Raptors are an exception. The Sixers are even worse because
I
the
was gonna
Sixers
ask you,
drafted stars and it hasn't panned out,
were
right?
you the one that suggested that? I think I was listening online that
Hmm.
suggested that if you're in the lottery 3 years in a row, that
Hmm.
fourth year you don't get to go to, you can't pick top five.
There should be some kind of
Yeah,
what's the word I'm looking for? Parity in terms of picking, you know, at
mhm,
the top like this, like a
mhm,
team like Charlotte, Washington, not so much because they had John Wall in that situation. But you know, these teams like Utah, The Bulls usually pick around 7, 8, 9, 10 every
Mhm.
year. Portland has been there for the last how many years? I don't know.
So
But
you're saying like the Bulls should be able to get like a top five pick because
well, not even that. I think the Bulls, because remember they had the third pick in Patrick Williams, like what, 3 years, 4 years ago.
fourth pick with tax
Was
runs,
it the fourth?
and
Okay,
then they
yeah,
got Kobe White at fourth as well.
right. So they've been
Yeah,
picky in top five because they just had bad drafts,
yeah,
right? But again, I think every team should have a chance. In terms of the teams who are losing teams
hmm
have a chance to pick at the lottery. I don't think if you're, a team like Charlotte, who's I don't think they've won 40 games in a year. I could be wrong. I could be fact checked. I don't think they won 40 games in the
I
last
don't think
maybe.
so. 10 years,
You know,
man.
you're right. So why
Yeah,
are they still here? If they're accumulating all this talent, what's the problem? Why aren't
yeah,
you winning? The league has changed the rules where you can't just get rid of a player you drafted so easily, right?
yeah.
They have all these incentives and stuff. So why are you still here in the
Why are
draft?
you still in the lottery?
Right.
Like, and it's
Right.
interesting you say that because we look at these teams too, right?
Mhm.
Obviously, you want to draft talent, but
Yeah.
like you're saying, like I don't know if the Hornets would draft Ace Bailey.
That's my thing, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I think they would, with Lamelo Ball there
mhm,
and Brandon Miller. Maybe they don't
right.
pick a player. Maybe they go for like a,
That's what I'm
um,
saying.
someone like Common Malach,
Mhm, mhm.
a Trey Johnson to kind of pair with Lamelo kind of thing.
Right.
Um,
What
so
do
there
the
could be
Pelicans
some.
do? The Pelicans, are they gonna dangle Zion Williamson? And like
Yeah,
there's so many variables that could happen
yeah,
in the draft, and this is why I think we shouldn't put so much stock into whether or not we're losing every game to get a better odds. I think we're in a good position already to draft top
yeah.
10.
I honestly think though we
Yeah,
need to put ourselves in the best position to get the best player possible.
absolutely.
I don't think we're in a position to like we're not like like the Brooklyn Nets where we need
Right, right. Like
anyone
the
can
go
whatever.
home.
We
Yeah.
need to get the best and kind
Mhm,
of move on. But where we're looking at, if you looked at the spreadsheet, so
mhm.
ninth pick it's Asa Newell would be very interesting getting a power forward. I
Right,
kind of think he would probably come off the bench. The
right.
common Malach guy, I think this is the guy if we're in this space here, I think he's the guy that we should really focus on because
Mm,
he's a 7-2 center,
yep.
mobile,
Mhm,
very great defensively. Someone we need kind of will help with that fits
mhm.
basically the starting lineup that we have now. It
For sure,
doesn't
for sure.
disrupt anything. Um and then everyone's talking about Trey Johnson. And
Mhm.
well, obviously VJ Edgecombe. VJ Edgecombe's my favorite. Trey
Yeah,
Johnson, I'm still learning about.
yeah.
And it's just like, okay,
And that's
are
the
we going to draft a third shooting guard?
right,
No,
exactly. See,
no.
and this is where my next question is going. Like, do you think that these teams that are positioned here are they going to choose select for position or they select for best player?
So
Right,
like a team like 76ers, I think they're gonna pick for position.
right. So
Yeah,
you got your all star point guard,
yeah,
you got your promising young shooting guard,
yeah.
right? You got other role players there, but your obvious glaring hole. You're looking at your superstar and then beating. You're like, well, in the next 5 years, do we want this guy on our team still? Right?
Yeah.
If he's only going to play 35 games, like they were
So
supposed to be
would
competitive this year.
so would Malach be would they reach with Malach?
We don't know,
Um,
bro. We don't know.
same. And we talk about the Hornets. Obviously, Washington needs anyone. Same with Cooper and
Washington just
Utah.
needs
They need
players.
people.
They need players. They
New
need a.
Orleans. Does New Orleans go with a guard here? Because
You don't know the direction. This is my point,
yeah,
right? Like you don't know what their executives are thinking. If Zion gets moved before the draft or at the draft, then that kind of opens up, a different pathway for them. They might take a
mhm,
guy like Ace, right? If
yeah,
he's there, if he's there.
yeah,
You know
that
what I'm
would be
saying? So
interesting too.
yeah, like there's just so many variables, bro. And this is why I just kind of want the season to end, because
Mhm.
for the teams who are not competitive, I want the season to end so we can kind of see where these teams fall in terms of record and the
Yeah,
lottery get dealt with, so we can really zone in on like, all right, this team might make this move or this team might go for this player, and also the tournament, right? You never
yeah,
know. There could be an exciting player that comes out and has a
yeah.
great
Well,
tournament. and
We're gonna
that
talk
puts
about the tournament. Yeah, I want to
yeah,
talk about the tournament because they've just set the brackets now.
yeah,
They're
yeah. I saw
gonna
that.
start on Tuesday, but let's kind of go over because we haven't really like I want to reset the room in the sense of like where we are in the playoffs, where teams are in the playoff picture,
Mhm.
who's doing well, who's not,
Mhm.
any surprises. So obviously, Raptors kind of went 6-4 in the last 10,
Yeah.
and have pushed themselves just under that
Mhm,
10th position,
mhm,
which is
mhm.
very annoying to me.
Which is okay because we're not far from the Brooklyn spot, right? Like if
Yeah,
Brooklyn wins and we lose another, we kind of
yeah,
drop down. I think Brooklyn has more games on us.
yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, they've beaten us
Hopefully,
twice.
I'm hoping Philadelphia will win a few of those games and kind of push
Yeah.
themselves up. I
Yeah.
don't see us catching Charlotte or Washington whatsoever.
No, no, no. Those are locked in. Those those are locked in,
Yeah.
bro.
Now, so
Yeah,
looking at the playoff position, just
yeah,
you can
yeah,
go a little bit about the NBA. What are your thoughts on how, especially these top six, is
yeah.
rounding out the
I
league?
like it, bro. You know what? I was watching that Indiana. Who are they playing, man? Indiana Milwaukee game.
Yeah, that was good.
I was saying to myself, that these playoffs are kind of shaping up to be a lot more competitive than I thought it would be. Right? I always thought that it was Boston and Cleveland that were clear cut. I was giving New York a little some props, but they
Yeah,
lost some bad games recently. I really don't have a clear cut favorite in the East.
yeah.
You
At
know what I mean?
first, I was dogging Cleveland,
Yeah,
thinking that they're like Atlanta, but ever
yeah.
since that DeAndre Hunter trade,
Oh
it
yeah,
like
that really helped.
completely
Oh
fixed
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
wing guard,
yeah.
that wing
And he's even playing
defensive
better.
position. Yeah,
Hunter has played better, which I did not foresee because I thought he'd need more
How,
touches.
bro,
But
he needed a point guard that would
yeah, the
pass the
floor is open.
ball.
You see, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. The floor is open for him, and even Atlanta's been playing well. They
Mhm.
won some really good games. They beat Memphis the other day.
It's
Um,
such a that's such a weird team. My friend,
it is.
shout
It
out to
is.
my boy in Atlanta. He was telling me, man, he's just stressed because it's like not it's like
They're in
one day
purgatory.
they look like the best
Yeah,
team,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then the next day they're losing to the Raptors. you
Exactly.
know,
Hey,
and
hey, 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 careful.
hey, but it's true, and it's very interesting
Yeah.
that Atlanta is at that a losing
Especially starting
thing.
the year. They weren't
Yeah,
this good to start the year. They're
yeah.
playing 500 basketball, but like you said, one day they're on super, on fire.
Hmm.
And then come the next game, it's like they don't even know how to dribble the basketball.
Yeah, shout
You
out
know what I mean?
to I still shout out to that New Orleans trading Dyson Daniels to the Atlanta
Mm,
Hawks. I could not. I think he's defensive player of the year, man.
he's
I'm
great.
still on that, Joe.
He's really good. He's really,
Yeah,
really good.
and then Orlando dropping out of the top six was very interesting as well.
Well, the
Um,
injuries didn't help, and then
yeah,
also the guys coming back. You could tell their rhythm is not the same from the beginning of the year. Like they were really rolling in the beginning of the year, and
same.
now just
And I wonder if it's that Jalen Suggs effect because he's kind
could
of
be could be.
he's more their leader than like Apollo
He's
or
like their
Rollins.
soul. You call
Yeah.
it soul play. Like he's their heart and soul.
He's their Kyle Lowry. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna say he's Kyle Lowry. I'm just saying that he's
I
that.
know, I know. Raptors
Yeah.
fans don't want to hear that because that was the
Yes.
whole thing. But still, love Scotty over Suggs any day,
Oh,
any day.
same.
Any day.
So
Detroit surprise. Are you
I'm not
surprised? No.
surprised. I thought they were talented even last year, even though
Yeah,
they
I
went on
think.
a 25 week year. Yeah,
Yeah, I think
coaching
their
helps.
coaching. Exactly, I was about to mention that the coaching
Yeah,
helps. They finally have an identity in terms of players, fitting their roles and playing their role.
mhm,
Um, I don't see them going far, but they can pull out a couple games depending on who they play.
yeah.
Um,
So they
you know,
got some vets, and this is one thing I always talk
yeah,
about when it comes to building a team.
yeah,
Once you got those young players, you need to surround them with some, decent vets that can play.
100%, hundred
So,
percent.
and then good coaching, right?
Yeah.
Like for next year, we're gonna have to talk about this. I want to know what we're gonna do with this Raptors team because
Mhm.
it seems like they're all in now.
Kyle
So,
Lowry, man, Kyle Lowry's got to come back. I think that's a missing piece, and I don't mean in terms of Kyle Lowry the player. I think we need Kyle Lowry the coach.
yeah,
The Garrett Temple role.
and to get tempo, yeah,
I mean, imagine him coaching up Isaiah,
um,
Mando quickly and these guys and
yeah,
Jamal Shed, and you know what I mean. Like imagine
yeah.
that knowledge and that.
Especially the Jamal Shed thing, man. Like I
Oh,
really
100%,
think,
100%.
Even
100.
today's game, watching Jamal Shed out there,
Oh man,
every time he was out there with Scotty, it just felt like the game was.
it felt
Uh,
right. It
it
felt
felt
right.
good. It
Yeah,
felt
it
good.
felt
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Absolutely. I think and what's his name? Alvin Williams mentioned on the
mm,
broadcast. He's like,
yeah.
he thought he was a steal of the draft, and to be
I
honest,
think so.
it's holding up right now. You know,
I kept saying he's the best point guard on our team. So
name another player, and I saw this stat the other day. He's number 4 in the league in terms of assists off the
yeah,
bench,
yeah.
bro. For a number, what is it, 45 pick?
45 pick.
Come on, man, come on.
And at his size, does he look small out there?
He does not. We've always said this the whole
Hey,
year. He does not
hey,
look
he doesn't look
like he's an
small.
undersized guard.
Yeah.
I'm seeing bigger guards having trouble getting
Hmm.
around him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he's strong, bro.
He's
He's really
strong.
strong, man.
He's quick.
He's got
Uh,
Larry. He's got Larry.
yeah.
He's young,
I
got
think we
Larry.
found it.
Yeah,
Now we need to find an OG.
yeah, we do, we need a big
But
guard.
hey, everyone is telling me like someone was comparing what's his name? SGA to one of our players, and I didn't like that
Oh,
idea because it's too
Jacoby,
much
I heard you
pressure.
say that.
Yeah, and I don't know, man.
I think
I
what they're
s-
referring to is like the style of play in terms of
yeah,
like his body movement on the court. Like he's very controlled in terms of his movements, right? Like when you see him drive to the basket, he's not in a rush. He's not.
mhm,
You see the SGA play, obviously.
yeah, yeah,
No one can speed him up. No one can slow him down. He's at his own pace. And you can see a little bit of that with Jacoby, but when we're talking about the levels, man, there's nothing.
yeah. I don't. I like what they say about him. I just don't see the impact on winning,
No, no, no. It's not the same.
or at
It's not
least
the same.
because I see him getting his stats like when like I
Mhm.
just don't see it. It wasn't only until that game winner in
Yep.
Orlando
Yep.
that was like wow. When he got up, man, that was great, man.
Yeah,
I
it was a good
felt
play.
it was bittersweet because I wanted the Raptors to lose, but
For sure. For
man,
sure. Yeah.
that kid,
You
man.
see, this is the thing, man, and I always tell people like, yeah, you want to tank and you want to get the best, draft odds, but again, I want my young players to experience some winning too.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's a hard thing to do, bro. It's hard to develop
yeah.
and tank and also get the bet. Like it's hard to do all those at the same time. It's really hard, but the Raptors are trying their best.
They're trying their best, yo.
Yes.
So let's talk about the West
West.
because the West seems to be
Oh
the
man,
more
this is the
exciting.
most interesting
Yeah.
conference of all time.
Last time we talked 2 weeks ago,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Lakers were second in the West, and now
yes.
they are fifth. Yeah,
Fifth,
fifth in the
yeah,
West.
fifth.
And now Golden State is back in a playoff, like a guaranteed playoff spot, with 7 straight wins.
Yeah. You see, this
What do
NBA,
you think?
this bro, this Western Conference, especially these like, high market, sorry, big market teams.
Yeah,
You cannot go on live television and talk about the Lakers are going to the finals. And Charles Barkley's right. Just because they won a couple games and had a good 2 weeks doesn't
yeah,
mean they're going to the finals,
yeah.
right? And we got to stop this thing about, oh, this team is done or that team is done or this team is going to be great, blah 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 blah. Bro, the Houston Rockets have been steady,
Steady.
steady and quiet. No one's talking about them, right?
Bro,
And they're getting healthier, and as the days go on, but no one's saying a word. They're talking about Denver. They're talking about the Lakers and Golden State. They're talking about all these other teams, Dallas, who has like 4 players left on their team. Like,
they're talking about claiming to have like a medical
yeah,
um
forfeiting games
forfeiting games. Like
because they
right,
don't, they don't they don't even have the money, bro, to sign a player to play.
bring the G Leaguers up, man.
They don't have the money to pay them. I saw something that said they're like $56,000 right under the cap with 8 players left. So
Hey,
they need some kind of exception from the NBA.
Jason Kidd
Something.
can still play though.
Hey, this kid's a Hall of Famer, man. One of the greatest of
Hey,
all time. He can hit a half court lob, but who's he lobbing it to?
who's he loving? I don't know.
Nobody
Um,
there, man.
one thing I want you to notice here is
Mhm.
this column here says games back.
Yeah,
Why is Houston second in the West and 12 and a half games from the first?
bro.
12 and a half, bro.
Ah, man.
Like, if you go to the East,
It's
it's only like 7.5. Okay.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
12 and a half
yes,
games back.
yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
West is way more competitive this
It
year.
is. It is. But it's also like, yeah, we're talking about Cleveland and OKC, but I don't know. I still don't have clear cut favorites, man. And
Yeah.
and it's been like this for a couple years now because of the
Mhm.
player movement
Yeah.
and all of that. It's hard to really look at a team and say, man, I really trust this team to take it to the next level because we don't know these teams yet,
Yeah.
right?
I still pick OKC. I just feel that it's their team to beat.
They got
But
to
I
prove it
think
this year. Yeah, yeah,
matchup wise, man, if the Lakers play Denver, I think Denver's winning just because of the
yeah,
size in the middle.
yeah.
But if
Who's
but if
guarding
Denver
Jokic?
plays Memphis,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't know, bro.
They can potentially run them out the gym.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, man. This is why matchups are important,
Mhm.
right?
Same
The
with Golden State. If Golden State plays
right.
OKC, I think it
It'll be a
would be a
7 game
7 game
series.
series. Yeah.
100%. I agree. I agree. It'll be one of those like, you know, OKC has the bodies to put on Steph, but
Yeah.
again, it's Steph Curry. Like he's seen everything, and
Yeah.
he's still doing it at this stage of his career. Like,
But
obviously,
the amount
what's
of players they can send at him, bro.
bro?
The amount of
I
players.
seen a montage today. I don't
Mhm.
know his name, but he's young, I think he's number 23 on the OKC
Oh,
defensive.
Wiggins,
Is it Wiggins?
Aaron Wiggins. I
Their
think you're talking.
defensive stopper. This dude is tying people up, bro.
There's
I
Lou
should have sent you
Dort.
that clip. He was tying them up. When I say tie them up, they couldn't get to half
Are
court,
are you talking
and he
about
was
OKC or Golden State?
this OKC man. I don't know if it's Wiggins. Like I don't know his name, but he
I think
was.
it's Wiggins. Yeah.
He's got dreadlocks, man. I can't believe I'm blank.
Oh, are you talking about Cam?
I don't know. Let's go OKC. Let's look at the team. Just click on the team and see
Because
roster.
it's not
I can
fair,
point
bro.
them out. I can point them out. No, they have bodies for days, and they just got back the other Jalen Williams the other day. So they're looking like they're looking like all stars, bro.
Isaiah Joe.
Is that Isaiah Joe?
It's
Number
Isaiah
23?
Joe has dreads.
He's
Number
short,
11.
dark skin. I think it's 23. Is it 20?
25 is AJ Mitchell.
No, 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 no. Short dreads.
23.
Is it no 23? I could be tripping.
Aaron Wick. I'm telling you, it must be
It's
Aaron
Wiggins,
Wiggins.
right? He's 20 something. 20.
21.
He's short dreadlocks, man. This dude is a defensive
This guy.
lock. Let me see. Is it him? Nah.
I think he's good, bro. I like him, man.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen him. I've seen
I
him.
like everyone on OKC.
Me too.
Just because, like, Carson Wallace is good too. Number 22.
Yes. Yeah.
That
It's
guy can
him.
shoot.
It's him. It's him. Let me
Oh
see. Click
my
on him.
gosh.
Click on him. Let me see. I think it's Carson Wallace. Him, bro. It's him. There you go with the dreads. This
Let me
dude,
show you where this guy was drafted, okay?
this dude,
Top 10.
his defensive highlights. Oh my goodness, bro.
He's
It's
6'3, bro. He's
his
6'3.
defense is nasty. This guy was locking up all stars. They were showing the montage, and I'm like, yo, who is this kid? When I say locking up, he's taking the ball out of their hand
Yep.
with a live dribble, and I'm like, how is he doing
Man can
this?
shoot, bro.
Man, OKC is
Man
ready,
can
bro. They
shoot.
just gotta prove it when the lights are up.
Yeah,
That's it.
man, that
All
guy
I'm
can
rooting for.
shoot.
And they
Yeah,
always show clips of SGA putting up 30, 40 points, but OKC is a full team, bro. They got
yeah,
back Chet. They have Hartenstein. They got Lou. They got these guys, Casey Wallace and these guys, and Jalen Williams. So they have it, man. They have secondary scorers. They got shooters. They got bigs. Like they have it all.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? They just got
yeah.
to do it when the lights are bright, and that's what
I
they're waiting.
like them. I like them. They have
Me-
everything. I just think the only thing is just like that veteran presence.
Yeah.
Like I said, if they had like
Well,
a Jimmy
well,
Butler, that would have been.
you talking
Oh
about
yeah,
vets?
Caruso. They have Caruso.
Yeah,
I
they
like.
got Caruso's there,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Championship player. So, let's see how it works, man. Let's see.
Mhm.
Let's see how it works.
Yeah, let's get into this a bit though. NCAA tournament is on the
I'm
way
excited.
starting
Sir.
Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
Who's your favorite right now? Because the one team that looking here is
Yeah.
not here
Who's
is
that?
Rudders.
Rutgers. I don't think they didn't play enough good teams this year.
Yeah,
They had a good record, good resurgence, but they were playing bad teams, and
yeah.
I think
I'm a little disappointed to see
hurt
that
them.
they didn't win. When you
Yeah.
have the top two players,
Hmm.
going in top five in the draft,
Yeah.
and then obviously Duke uh, with the injury.
Yeah.
I don't know.
A
So
part of me wishes that some of these guys will come back to college for another year. Just a part of me, but I think if the talent level is there, I can't really say for you not to leave college and go to the NBA. It used to be the thing where guys need money and for a better opportunity and all that stuff. But with NILs now, I think players should actually consider, like,
Yeah.
if you're a top talent and you're going to the league, I think you should consider staying in college just like maybe 2 years, just to
So
get.
would you? So are you talking about Cooper Flag? Because
Oh,
he's
that
been
was the rumor.
rumored.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a rumor. A lot of things came out. I don't know if it was an interview he did or if it was like a scrum. I can't remember, but
he goes to scrum.
it was a scrum, and he said, he wants to come back. But again, I don't think the decision is solely his.
Hmm.
But these guys are 18, 19 years old. They're just talking to, they don't really understand what's at stake. Like,
Yeah.
you have multi-million-dollar companies, you know, tanking to get you, really, to put themselves in positions to get you. You can't just go out there and say, I'm going back to college. Like,
So
that's.
could I say that if he did go back to college and he went to the draft next year,
Mhm.
he wouldn't go number one.
That's a possibility. It's a
It's not a
possibility.
no. It is
It's a
literally the
possibility. You think,
yo
what's his
that
name?
dude AJ. But
The bench there or whatever?
oh my
Yeah.
yo,
Yeah, he's
he
nice.
is ridiculous, bro.
But
He's like
that's the
six
thing.
nine,
But that's
six
the thing. If
ten.
Cooper goes back to college next year and has an even better year,
He ain't he ain't AJ, bro. I'm sorry. I know people have
listen,
been talking about
I'm listening.
Cooper,
I'm hearing
but
you. I'm hearing
AJ, oh man,
you. Cooper Flag's been the most, well, I would say since Zion, right? He didn't have as much hype coming out into college, but I think once he got to college, everyone's like, "Oh, this kid is ridiculous," and it's warranted, man. I've seen the tapes. I watched a couple games. He is electric. He got hurt the other day, but they said it was nothing.
yeah,
But we'll
okay,
see.
but
We'll
I'm
see,
just
man.
saying AJ is way better. He's- I'm
AJ the
sorry, I
match.
don't care what anyone says. That guy, I would
Okay,
rather
so
him.
hold on. If Cooper doesn't enter the draft, who's your clear cut number one? Is it Dylan
Dylan Harper,
randomly?
yeah, it's Dylan.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
there's no
But
so
okay, my next question would be, what does it affect the status of some teams and where they draft and how they draft? Or no?
yeah, I think so
Yeah.
because then like they've been
It's a
killing
point
themselves
guard.
to try to go to yeah. Like
Yeah,
when you think about okay, let's just pull up the teams
yeah,
like
yeah.
just on the
Good,
tally clock,
yeah.
right? Because I wanted to do this. So I'm gonna do
No,
the
uh,
simulator live on air.
yeah, let's go.
Let's
Raptors
do
number
live
one.
on air simulator.
Raptors get number one. I'm taking Ace Bailey. I'm sorry.
Look at
What are
that
we, eighth,
seventh. What I
seventh?
tell you? What I tell you?
Okay,
Seventh.
go get. Just relax. Just sim. Go get.
Reset. Do this.
Then second. Oh my god. Oh, there you go. Number
Yeah,
one pick.
we went to
Nine.
ninth.
Jesus.
Fam,
Is that based off of tonight's? Like, this is
yeah,
tonight's
it's
date,
tonight's
right? Okay.
thing. Yeah, 24
It's not
innings.
based off the 4 wins we had earlier.
No,
Seventh.
it's just a similar seventh. Okay, so for
See,
instance,
Philly in that mix just pisses me off, man. I'm sorry. They just
as I'm
really, really,
saying,
really.
and then they get friggin' okay. So if we were looking at this one, right?
These guys get
New
VJ.
Orleans might
Be
go
hot.
Ace Bailey,
If New Orleans goes Ace Bailey, I'd keep Zion. I'd keep him. And especially with this new Zion that's in shape or whatever they got going on down there,
but
I'd
I
keep.
think if I'm new for me, if I'm New Orleans, I would
Mhm.
take Dylan Harper, mainly
Yeah, you
because
need a
Dylan
point guard.
Harper,
You need a point
yeah,
guard. Yeah, yeah, for
and
sure,
you pair him with DeJounte Murray,
for sure, for sure,
okay,
for sure.
Brooklyn Ace, Washington probably get they just need talent. So
I
VJ,
think
which I
Washington. Yeah,
would never want VJ to go there,
he'd be
and
wasted on there,
Philadelphia probably yeah.
just like how they're wasting. What's the French kid's name? In Washington,
Sar, I like
Koulibaly.
Sar.
No, Koulibaly.
Koulibaly, oh, he's nice.
Koulibaly's so talented, bro,
Yeah,
but he's being wasted on there.
and then Utah dropping the fifth would be kind of devastating for them. All that
Absolutely
lose,
devastating.
all that losing, just
I think they trade marketing in a heartbeat.
I don't
Because
think they would, man.
really, I think he was supposed to be a little bit better than what he is right now. But
They dropped 250 mil on him, yo.
yeah, I know. A lot of
There
teams wanted him too.
and bro, let me tell you another thing that I'm telling you is, and I don't like the NIL money.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
for instance, AJ, the best whatever his name
mhm,
is D, right?
yeah.
Guess where he went to school? He's going to school.
Utah. I know. I know. He's
He's
got
going to
$7 million.
BYU.
Yep, Utah. Yep.
BYU. And guess who the donor is that's paying the NL money?
Who's been the NL?
It's the owner of the Utah Jazz, partial owner.
Is that tampering?
That's what I want to know. I don't think it is because no one's
How,
saying anything.
is that because of the NIL? Like it just opens it up to anybody?
Yeah,
Like how does it
yeah.
work?
I
Because
don't know how it
I thought the
works.
NCAA was paying that money.
No, 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 no. It's
No,
it's whoever the sponsor is.
really. That
Yeah.
is
So
that is tampering on another level.
so
That's
we're like,
almost like,
hold on. How is this? First of all, why is
that's
he
almost like
going to
slavery.
BYU?
That's low key slavery right there.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. And again,
Think
he's
about it.
getting a $7 million bag, bro.
And he hasn't played a
He
game in
hasn't played a
college.
game, yo.
That's crazy.
Right?
Crazy.
So
Just off of some
you see
highlights.
Utah. If you're saying, oh, they might trade Markkinen,
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think they just make
I,
him sit.
I have a question, a random question off top.
Yeah,
If NILs were always a thing, who do you think, which college player would you think had the biggest NIL deal, like of all time? Like we're talking like from the beginning of the league and all that stuff. Who do you think would have the biggest NIL deal coming into college?
LeBron James.
Facts, but he skipped. He didn't go to college. You think he would have went to college if he got
Yeah.
that?
Oh
That
yeah,
man
hell
got
yeah.
90 million before he touched an NBA
Yeah.
court, bro.
He'd go to college. He would go to
Oh
college.
my god.
Um,
Okay, outside of LeBron, who else?
Wiggins,
I think Wiggins. I think Blake Griffin would have got a crazy bag.
Blake Griffin, Wiggins.
Crazy
Wiggins
bag.
was hot. RJ
Yeah.
Barrett would have got some really
RJ
good
would
money.
have got a decent.
Oh,
Yeah.
Anthony Davis, bro.
Oh, yes, yes.
Oh
Zion
my
too.
god.
Zion would have
John
got a
Wall.
nice
John Wall. Oh, another name
Derrick
that you
Rose
would
too.
be Sebastian Telfair.
Yes, yes.
See, people don't know about
Out of
that
high
kid.
school, oh, he would have
Yeah.
got a huge bag. That's fact. Carmelo too. Carmelo Anthony
Carmelo. Oh man.
winning the championship. Yeah, I think that's a good little game to play. Who would get
Yeah.
the really big bag? Like who's not a known player that had such a huge college hype.
Yeah. Shabazz Napier would have been one.
Oh,
Oh,
that's good.
who's the other guy from UConn?
UConn? I know you're talking about the light skinned kid.
No, not the light skinned kid. The young
Who?
the he plays in Charlotte. He played for Charlotte for so long. Kemba
Uh,
Walker, bro.
Kemba Walker. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Kemba Walker got a
Oh,
nice bag.
oh,
Also
Gordon Hayward
Gordon.
from Butler.
Dude from BYU, Jimmer Fredette. Jimmer
Jimmer.
Fredette would have got a
Ooh,
huge bag.
Jim. Oh my. Steph would have. I don't know if
F two,
Steph would have
yeah.
Curry.
Oh,
Yeah,
he got it. Yeah, he would have got it because his tournament went crazy. But that was later on, right?
yeah.
We're talking about guys who had hype like coming out of high school. Oh, Austin Rivers. Austin
Mm.
Rivers would have got a huge bag. Kyrie Irving only played
Kyrie,
11
Kyrie
games.
was.
Yeah, he played 11 games and went number one. He was
No, I'm
super
saying
hype.
before that. Before that,
Yes,
was
he
he a
was
high?
super hype.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
that's when he went to Duke. He
What
was
is a non NBA player that would have been? And the one guy that I'm thinking of, OJ Mayo
OJ Mayo was huge in high school. Huge. I remember
and oh
guys when I was
Tariq
playing.
Evans.
Oh, you're a
Yo,
guy.
that's my boy, man. Only player,
That's,
only rookie to go 25-5. It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
come
I'll
on.
give you another name. I'll give you another
Ooh,
BJ.
ooh.
Brandon Jennings. Brandon
Brandon
Jennings would have got a
Jennings.
huge NIL
I
deal.
think Brandon Jennings would have stayed in school.
Yeah, me too. I don't think he would have went overseas because that's what he went
Yeah,
for.
yeah,
He went for the money. Man, do you think his career would have went? Probably would have been better if he stayed in
yeah.
over here. Because
Lamelo
Lamelo would have no Lonzo. Lonzo would have had a bigger back.
and
Lonzo's hype.
Lamelo.
Yeah, Lonzo's hype was bigger. You remember the hype?
Nah, bro.
We're talking hype.
Okay, I remember the hype, but
I'm not saying better player. I'm saying the hype coming out of high school
yeah,
was
but
Lonzo.
everyone talked about there's a young kid,
Yeah,
six
but
nine, six
listen, man,
seven.
it was Lonzo's brother first. He was under his shadow. Because remember,
Lonzo.
Lonzo was doing ESPN first take with his
True,
dad.
true, true,
Like
true, true,
those
true. Yeah,
guys
that's true.
he was popular, man. And
Still
then
like that kid.
what's his name? Magic Johnson's like, I want to see your jersey in the banner. Who says that? I want to see your
Mm,
jersey retired as a Laker.
Rob Pelinka traded him like a punk, yo.
Bro, well, he was right because that boy was injured. Like he had no legs, no knees. But
He's
yeah,
coming
man, that's a
back.
good little game to play, man.
Yeah, that's interesting. I would love to. Hopefully, we
Yeah,
Maybe I gotta clip this one because that's it very interesting.
Or get some old heads who would talk about some older players who would have had a big NIL deal. I think Hakeem Olajuwon would have had a nasty NIL deal.
He went to Houston, right?
Yeah, he went to high school and college and the pros.
In the pros, yeah.
So this is almost like an
Shaq,
Indian
bro,
situation.
Shaq. Are
Oh
you
my
serious?
God, we forget
How
Shaq.
will we forget Shaq, bro? The
Killed
man mashed up the damn the backboard. He would have. Oh man,
yo. Tracy McGrady would never went to the league.
no, he wouldn't have went to the league.
Kevin Garnett, like these guys, man.
I'm trying to think of
NIL,
like,
I think NIL is gonna really change the landscape of the NBA.
and it's fair, bro. I think
It
they
is
should they
absolutely,
should,
absolutely,
but
bro.
I
This
also
next
think
generation still needs to
they should
knowledge.
allow these players to go straight to the NBA from high school though.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I mean, but I think it's a different time because back then, well, I think AAU kind of ruined that, right? Because it was more competitive. The guys coming out of high school were legit ballers, like KG, Jermaine O'Neal, these
Mhm.
guys, like they were legit basketball players. Tracy McGrady, like you know what I'm saying? Like we're talking
Yeah,
all
Kobe.
all NBA, yeah, Kobe, all NBA level players. I think if you open it up too much, I think you're gonna get a lot of like we don't want to
I don't
see
know.
we don't want to see what's that little Spanish kid, man? No disrespect. That they were hyping up in
Julian Newman.
Newman. Oh my god.
Yo, he's entering a draft this year. You know that, right?
I know that. Even Mikey Williams. I've been seeing this guy for 9 years now,
Oh my
and he's
god.
still in high school. Like, what's going on?
Oh my
You know what I'm
god.
saying? So
I don't know. We'll have to see,
move
but
on.
like
We're going on a rant now.
we're going on right. But
Okay,
back
good.
to NCAA.
NCAA.
I don't watch a lot of NCAA basketball.
Neither do I.
Um, um,
Neither do I.
but is there any
And
team here that
preface it. Sorry, to preface it. We live in Canada, and a lot
yeah
of the games are not televised before the tournament, so we don't really get to see a lot of these guys before the tournament. So it's hard to gauge who's a better player beforehand. You might see some clips online. You
yeah
might see, if you watch the games that way, whatever. You might see Duke play once in a while. But, unless there's a Canadian that's like a star, we don't really get the games televised up here, which
yeah?
sucks. Because I
Did
think that
Baylor make? I don't even know if Baylor made it.
Baylor, I don't think Baylor recruited well this year. Because I didn't see not one highlight or nothing of any of these guys.
Oh no, Baylor made it. So they're ninth. So is there any team that you're gonna
I want to
have
see.
seen and want to see go far?
Well, I saw a game the other day with Pedro Stojakovic's kid.
Ooh,
He,
where's he at?
he's in California. Is it California? I doubt they made the tournament, but I said they were playing in a conference tournament.
Mm,
Uh, California, bro. I don't think the team is that good, but he was nice. When I say he could play, he can play, bro. He's 6'9", 6'10", with a
mm,
handle. He's not fast, but he can get to his spots and he has the shot, bro. He
yeah,
can shoot the
that's
ball
cool.
just like his dad. Who else do I want to see?
I'm
Obviously, I
kind
want to see what Cooper does in these big games.
yeah,
He's gonna be a lot of attention on him.
yeah. I
Um,
want to see Duke because it's not only Cooper, bro. They have two
no, I
other.
know, I know, I know, I know.
There's what's his name? There's Con Canopel, which
Yeah,
I'm not really. He just reminds me of Christian Laettner. I don't know. It's not my type of player. And then this Common Malach, and then there's another Dookie that's been playing well. I forgot his name, but yeah, there's that. Um, it's too bad Rudder's not going to be there, and
yeah.
then
I would love to see them, man.
but I would like to see Baylor because Ace Bailey playing against the Mississippi State going and imagine Ace Bailey versus Cooper Flag
Oh
in the
man,
second round here,
I
man.
think
That
I
would be
I think there's gonna be some games where we're gonna see guys just going at Cooper's neck,
yeah.
and this is what I want to see. I want to
But
see.
they don't back down. Like he
He
don't
doesn't
back
back down. No,
down, yo.
he's one of those guys. He has the motor, and he's got the passion to play. Like he does not play like a
Yeah.
softy, man. He really goes hard. But I'm interested to see, man. I don't really, like I said, I'm not familiar with a lot of these guys. But during the
Yeah.
tournament, we learn about these guys and how they play throughout the year,
Mhm.
and we're gonna learn a lot, man. And see
Yeah,
who
and
really steps up.
another team here is Georgia with Asa Powell, who's supposed to
Yeah.
be touted to go about ninth. So
Is
Georgia would be a good one.
is
Oh,
Florida
you know
number
the
one?
Isn't Gonzaga? Isn't that where the kid plays?
Gonzaga, that's the team I was
The
talking about. They're over here
Yeah,
against Georgia.
yeah.
The
Aren't
number
they the one play? Isn't that where Stojkovic's kid is playing?
no, he's playing California.
California. Okay,
California. It looks their jerseys are blue and yellow. Like it
okay,
almost looks
okay,
like a Michigan jersey.
okay. Also, we got Oklahoma there. We That's Jeremy Fears. That's another kid.
Hmm.
I think he's point guard, but I don't think he's 6'4" like they're saying. I think he might be 6 foot
Well,
because
let's see, man. Let's
yeah,
see. Let's see.
um,
I always like to wait for the eye test on the court. You
yeah,
know, when people say, "Oh, I'm this height, this height." Let's see how you look on the court.
yeah. Then there's South Carolina, but I don't see them here at all. And then there's that Auburn team. So this team's been number one all year, basically. And that's like the first time that's happened since uh, our boy Charles Barkley
Yeah, yeah,
was
yeah.
in college,
'Cause they're a
right?
football school. Yeah, they're a
Yeah.
football
So
school. They're not really known for basketball. But who do they have on their team? Anyone
I
that
don't even know. I don't know anyone.
it's
I
a good
don't see
team, right?
anyone. They're probably a bunch of seniors.
That's
Bunch
another
of
thing.
seniors.
Who's a team full of seniors that
This
we?
kid Broom, Jay
Hmm,
Broom. Oh yeah, he's 25th ranked, big man, 6'10". So
okay,
we're gonna have to learn about this next one of our next
for
pods.
sure,
We'll learn some more of these players to
sure.
bring you guys. Bougie Fland is another one that everyone was talking about. There was a guy named Dink Pate. That
Okay.
guy from he plays in Mexico City
Damn,
in the G League.
we
That
got a
guy I
great
heard is
dick
good.
and a dink paint. Wow,
Hey,
that's tough, man. That's
hey,
tough.
yeah,
Commentators gonna have to learn how to speak properly because
yeah.
you don't want to slip up.
Mhm. All right, last kind of story. Unless you have a few stories, I want to talk about this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Um, this is our boy, our
Eee.
boy, number point up in the air.
Yeah.
Brian Windhorst calls out Toronto Raptors for tanking.
First of all, has Brian Windhorst ever watched a Raptors game in the last
I
10
don't think
years?
so.
I
I
don't
don't
even
think
think
so.
he watched a finals run. Like, to be honest with you,
Yeah,
these guys they just look at us from afar and kind of gauge their analysis off of that. And I think they're completely wrong because if you've been watching the games, any team in the league would love to be in the Raptors position right now
yeah,
with the ability to tank with all this talent on the team, right? All these good players who are playing the best ball of their careers outside of Emmanuel quickly,
yeah.
right? You get a
Actually,
star.
let's get into that afterwards. I want to talk
Yeah,
about the
for
team
sure.
because these
Whoa.
10 days and these guys, like they're really good. I am
They're
actually
really good. Absolutely.
last year those 10 days were terrible. They were really really bad.
It
I'm
was
just
really
like,
bad.
what happened here?
Yeah.
But yeah, like so, Brandon Windhorst is kind of calling us out for not playing Brandon Ingram.
Yeah. Yep.
Brandon Ingram has had the worst sprained
Ankle
ankle
sprain.
in the world in the
I don't
world
want to
here.
hear that. I don't want to hear that because David Robinson sat out for a whole year with
Yeah,
an injury that did not require a
no,
year's worth of sitting, and they got Tim Duncan.
they
So I
got
don't hear
Tim
none.
Duncan out of that. So
Exactly. I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear none of that. Like I said, these guys do not pay attention to us unless we're getting some sort of benefit, and I feel like it's jealousy and it's hate.
yeah,
Because I saw a quote. I don't know if it's from the same article or same story, but they're saying that executives are upset because they're saying a quick rebuild is not a good thing to do. And I'm just thinking in my head, what
like
team
who?
wouldn't want a quick rebuild? What the hell are you talking about?
So let's actually that's an interesting point.
What does that
Why?
even
Like, yeah, what does that mean? Like,
mean? Yeah,
there are so many teams that have done that.
right. Absolutely. Look at the Celtics.
Look at the
Look
Lakers, bro. The
at the
Lakers,
Lakers. Right. They rebuild every 1 or 2 years
yeah,
with a new superstar. What are we talking about?
yeah. And
Like,
then the stupid Dallas Mavericks just gave them away,
thank
gave
you.
them
And
player.
not even that. After Dirk was in his last couple years,
Yeah,
and then they get Luka Doncic.
yeah.
So
But you know what it is, bro? They're just mad that we won the championship.
of course they're mad. And guess
It's
what? They
so
can never
bad.
take it away.
Hey,
It happened,
hey,
okay?
hey.
Thank you, Kawhi. Thank
Good
you,
work.
Marcus
Good work,
Smart.
Kawhi. Good
Yeah,
work, Kawhi.
even though you
Yeah.
made the worst decision in NBA history, but
They're mad that we got Kawhi Leonard and we
yes.
won.
You know what's
I'm
funny? You know what's funny? Everyone, when we made the trade, everyone's like, "Oh, this is not going to work out. He doesn't want to be there. Is he healthy? Blah blah blah." Not to go back to it, but you know, These executives don't know what they're talking about, bro. They're just upset that we are in a position because I promise you, next year this time, the Raptors are going to be a really good team. If we have a fully
Mm.
healthy squad,
Mm.
even without a top pick, I'm telling you right now, the Raptors are going to be a great team next year.
You're optimistic. My again, my philosophy stands. I actually don't think they're
I
going to
know.
be that great.
I disagree. We can have this debate, and this is why we have the show.
Hey, let me. If you do not improve defensively, you're not going to be good.
And
I'm
then
sorry.
we always talk about it. Defensive is what, right? It's effort.
Positioning and effort.
Exactly. So once you get those down pat, and also again with health, and you know who your roster is, I think the Raptors are going to be a lot better. And
Mhm.
these young guys are going to get another year under their belt, man. Imagine Jamal Shed with a
Yeah,
summer with
Jamal
Kyle
Shed.
Lowry and
Yeah,
these guys, and Grady Dick getting another year of development under his belt, and
yeah.
RJ getting a full training camp, Emmanuel quickly
Well,
playing
yeah.
games. You know what I mean?
Hearing
Like
the talks, they think they're going to move RJ.
we'll see, man. We'll see.
I
I
don't
don't know.
think you should, man.
I
Keep
don't
him.
either. We talked
Keep
about it
him,
earlier.
bro.
I don't think you get
Yeah.
rid of 21 points a game, who's pretty much playing the best ball of his life. You got to find a spot for him, right?
I don't
You
even
got
think you have to find a spot for him. I think you
no, I
need
mean like
to.
in terms of minutes,
Yeah.
like you're gonna
Yeah.
have to find ways to get him into the
Exactly.
rotation. Uh,
Exactly.
the way to keep that 21 points. You don't want
I
to.
don't know why anyone would want to give up talent
Hell no.
when we don't have enough
No,
talent.
he's a top three pick who's playing his best
Yeah.
basketball. Why
But
would you get rid of that?
exactly.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, I think hearing especially Brian Windhorst, calling
Uh,
up the Raptors
yeah.
after watching what Philadelphia is doing right now.
Does he
What
even know the name of our coach?
Yeah, he doesn't even know our name. He's watched a lot of Utah, what Utah has been doing,
Right,
Washington, and
right.
you call out the Raptors that
The
look like
Raptors.
that are 6-1.
So what do you want us to do? Fight for a 10 spot and get
Uh,
embarrassed in the playoffs? Hell no.
I don't know.
Hell no.
I don't know. I
Just
don't
like
know if
besides
that's
it, besides like you remember that press conference a couple years
yeah,
ago? Besides like why would we try to get to a play in? For what?
yeah.
I think that was the
Playing
year
for
before
what?
we got Scotty. The year
Yeah.
before we got Scotty. So he's like, why would I try to win to get into the play in?
Yeah.
Right? We're not winning a championship. What's the point? So I agree, man. We're not winning this year. We had a bad start. We had a lot of injuries, right? We had a lot of
Mhm.
trades and all that stuff. So listen, man, let it be what it is.
Yeah.
We are a bad team. We got better. We kind of know the direction we're going in now. I know everyone's
Mhm.
not sold on the coach and the decision making, but I think we're in that middling ground. I think after the draft and after the
Mhm.
summer, we'll see where we stand, and
Yeah.
we can make
Yeah.
our assumptions from there. But right
Mhm.
now, let's tank away, baby.
Just tank
Tank
away.
away. And Windhorse, if you even come up to Toronto and start no nonsense about the
Yeah.
Raptors should be trying to play their best player, go hold a seat. Go hold
Yeah.
a seat.
I don't think that's fair. I don't
No,
think it's
it's
fair
not
for him
fair.
to even call out.
He,
Back to yeah.
yeah.
So
No,
back to
I was
the
gonna continue with more, but
sorry.
I got more ammo
Continue, bro.
for Windhorse. Why didn't he talk about when Cleveland lost LeBron James? They get Kyrie Irving the next year, and then LeBron James came back to Cleveland. Why don't you talk
Hold
about
on,
that?
hold on, hold on.
Why didn't you talk about the Lakers getting LeBron after Kobe retired a couple years later, and then they
Can,
get
can I can I
Anthony
pause you for a
Davis
second?
right after that, and then they
How
get Luka
many?
Doncic.
Hold on.
How many
You
number
said
one
you
picks they
said
had?
Kyrie. Remember they
Kyrie
got three first
Irving
overall picks.
3. Thank you,
Okay,
thank you,
so they got
thank you.
Kyrie. They got Wiggins.
Look at their rebuild. They lost Kyrie Irving, and look at their rebuild within 2 years.
Yep,
Right? They get Evan Mobley, they get Darius Garland, and now they get Donovan Mitchell,
Donovan Mitchell out
and
of a
now
trade.
they have 50 plus wins. Why are you talking about that? Right? Why are you talking about the Lakers getting Luka Doncic?
It's not. It's
What
not
the-
our fault.
and he
Not our
wasn't
fault
even
that we're finding
available
talent.
for trade.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? Again, I'll also say this: the Raptors have a history of drafting really well. This goes back to
Mhm.
our early days of inception, right? We drafted a lot of talent over the years. Our problem is their players don't stay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're trying our best to get players who are going to stay.
Yeah.
So it
And
is
I
what it,
think that all comes with culture and
absolutely. And
what
the
you
culture has shifted, man,
and
ever
how you
since.
treat players and how they
Yep,
leave.
yep.
I think the Raptors still have need to work on that. I think they need to really. It's time to kind of bring some older players back
Well,
to the
guess what?
fold.
We started with the major wound
There we go. Yep.
with
Yep.
Vince, right? That was long overdue.
Yeah,
I think that's gonna start a process of this new wave of free agency and all the signing and all that stuff. Because a lot of the American players, when you talk about Raptors, they talk about Vince Carter, right?
exactly.
He's the one.
Exactly.
So once we finally mended that relationship, let's see how it plays
Mhm.
out in
Yeah,
the future. So yeah,
cool.
yeah, man, I'm off that. I'm
All right.
I'm done.
Don't worry. Last thing we want to talk about is I want to talk about these 10 days, 10-day contract players,
Yeah,
these guys that have been
two ways,
two ways, all these
all
fun
ups.
guys. So
Yeah,
first guy I'd like to bring up is the new kid,
AJ,
the newest guy. His name
the newest.
is
Oh, the center.
Colin Castleton. What
Yes.
have you thought about this kid?
He's super tall, unathletic, bad hands.
He's
What
very weird looking. Like, look at his
he's got
neck.
like a long neck, bro.
Yeah, it's like you grabbing that. Like, I don't know. I think the reason why he's 6'10"
His
is
neck.
that neck.
Pause.
Yeah,
Pause. Yo, that's crazy.
I'm not saying he's bad, but I
No,
kind
no, no.
of. It's very interesting watching him. He hustles a lot, right?
He does. My thing with him though, he needs some coordination.
Yeah,
And like I'm watching him play, and I'm
funny.
just like, your feet are not there, your hand, your positioning is not there. For you to be 7 foot or 6'11", whatever it is,
6'10", yeah.
you got to be in the mix a little bit more.
That neck
He's probably
is
like 6'8" with a long neck. Pause. But like you should not have as a 6'10" guy, you should not have 3 rebounds averaging at any point in
yeah.
time in your life.
But he's a 10-day.
3 points.
We can't push. We can't. He's
Listen, man.
he's
If
a
I'm on
10-day,
a
bro.
10 day, if I'm on a 10 day, I'm playing the hardest I've ever played in my life.
Hey, bro, he had 12 rebounds tonight, yo. So
Well,
he's
I love
doing
to see
it.
that. I love to see that. I need to see
Yeah,
more. But I'm watching him tonight, and he got some passes under the rim, and he's doing the cardinal sin. He's bringing the ball down,
down.
like you
Yeah,
don't do that. It says fundamentals 101. You catch the ball, yo. You see Pirtle, catch the ball, keep it up,
top.
lay it in.
Yeah, perfect
Just lay it.
example. Scotty did that in the game today. Just
Yeah,
he was almost triple teamed.
yeah. Kept the ball high.
But then kept it high and just found Colin Castleton under the basket for a dunk.
There you go.
Yeah,
There
I
you go.
like this kid. I don't think we're gonna see him next year, but
Yeah, he probably
he's
be in
an
the
interesting kid.
rotation. Yeah, yeah. He's
Um,
definitely a tank all star. I'm gonna call him tank all star.
tank all star. Then there's this kid. We need to
AJ,
kick this kid off the team, bro. He's too good, man.
AJ, listen, AJ, Toronto kid, like he's playing the dream that we all had, being from Toronto, playing for the Raptors. But like you said, you're doing too good, kid.
Yo,
Chill out,
this man dropped 30 points. I'm like, man, 32 and then 28.
bro.
Bro, you need
Bro,
to chill out, bro.
do you not love your hometown team?
Go
Like,
go
what's going?
win a go win a freaking championship in the G League, bro. Like, when you
Yeah,
come in
go.
here messing shit up, man.
This man came out like, yo, I'm an MVP. Like,
Look at the plus minus though, like
he's playing
16
really
plus,
well. He's
15.
playing really well, and not even
Damn,
that. He's scoring the ball, but he's playing really good defense, bro.
very
Like
good
he's
defense. Look at the rebounding,
yeah,
assists.
he's not no slouch. Kid is
Eh,
playing well, man, but
I
we don't
like
want
him.
that right now.
Do we bring him back? I
Yes,
bring him
yes,
back, bro.
you do, you do. I'm gonna tell you why you bring him back, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Anytime you get a player that can show you scoring ability,
yeah.
right? Regardless of if it's against scrubs or third stringers, but also the defense, you don't get rid of that because a lot of guys don't
Mm,
play defense in
they
the
don't.
NBA. So if you can get a two-way player, I don't care if he's gonna be your 12th man or 11th man off the bench, you keep him because he's
Yeah.
not just a one-trick pony. This
And
guy is
how tall is he? Six
broken.
six. Like I don't know, man. Like
He can play,
if
bro.
if you keep him, I don't know. Maybe Ochai might be acceptable because
No,
this
no, no,
kid
no,
could
no, no, no,
play.
no, 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 no. Let's not get carried away now. Let's
I
not
know,
get
I
carried
know,
away.
I know.
I think you would more so move a guy like Battle instead, like because Battle gives you the liability on defense. Although he's a great shooter,
I don't think Battle's
liability.
defense is that bad. I think his when he shoots and misses, that's where he
Oh yeah,
struggles, man.
exactly. And that's the thing. If you have a shooter,
Yeah,
like every shot should look like a good shot. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
And
Uh,
sometimes,
yeah. And sometimes it doesn't look that great. Who
all
else you
right.
got?
So now there's this kid, Jared Roden.
Ed Rudin,
So
another one,
okay, so this kid,
another
he's
one.
been. I think he's been with us for a while.
I think he was there in the G League a couple times.
Yeah.
I think we have his rights.
Tristan Lindo.
Oh, I think we have his rights. So I'm not sure if we. I think it's the first time being called up though, if I
Yeah,
remember.
I think so. But
But I've seen
he
him. I've seen him before. Yeah, for sure.
but like look at this man. 25 points, 11 points,
And he's
13
strong.
points.
He's
He's
strong, bro.
and I'm sitting there thinking,
Yeah,
okay, he's a little weak. I was thinking, this is my mind. He's a
yeah.
little weak. Maybe we'll lose. This dude comes
No,
in
no,
the game, and I'm like, God
hitting every
dang,
shot. Hitting
why are
every
you hitting every shot? Why are you defending well? Like,
shot. Right?
Tristan Lindo.
oh gosh,
Oh
hold
man.
on. Okay, so, um, yeah, he's. I'll tell you about this later. Anyways, yeah, this kid can ball, man, and I
Oh
like
yeah.
him.
Oh yeah.
I
Me too.
think we bring him back again next year.
You see, this is what I like about the Raptors. We tend to find these guys who are, lost in
Diamond in the
the
roughs,
sauce,
yeah,
diamonds in the rough,
yeah,
who you bring them up in the league and they kind of like, you know, find their niche and they find their way
mm,
around and they find their position in the league. And these
yeah,
guys, AJ Lawson, you talk about this kid Roden, like these guys are hoopers, bro.
yeah,
They're not no slouch. They're not one trick ponies. They're not just good at shooting or they're not just good defensive players. They're doing it all, bro, out there. And I like that. You need players like that. It just keeps reminding me of like, the Raptors when they had Norman Powell and these guys. You didn't
mm,
know what they were, but they come
yeah,
out, they play good defense, they hit a couple shots, and then they turn into serviceable players for you
yeah,
to win a championship. So like it doesn't always happen the way we expect it to, where it's you draft the players. You don't always have to draft, your team to a championship. You could do it this way, right? You can find
yeah,
guys in the G League, you can get undrafted players like Fred Van Vliet, you know what I'm saying? You can draft guys at the 54th pick and they turn into, Jamal Shed. Like you could do it
mm,
different ways. So I
yeah.
like this, man. I think we should keep
I'm very interested in to see how this kid
for sure.
grows. Hopefully,
And
he
also,
stays.
where my good players or my stars are at practice, I want them to go up against guys like this who are
Mm,
hungry and
yeah,
who actually have some, some talent. You can push you a little bit.
yeah,
So
I
yeah, man, it's
completely
good.
agree with that.
It's good.
Who else now? Orlando Robinson.
I'm still on the fence with him. I liked him at first, but
Mm,
his last few games, man,
he got blocked today. I
yeesh. The
so
numbers look good. Yeah,
I would say we need size. There's
we do,
no reason not to keep him.
we do, we do.
Just
I agree with that.
we need size, man.
I
And
agree.
we have all these guards. You see AJ Loss and all those kids. We
Yep,
need size, and
agreed.
like for especially in the next draft coming up,
Yep,
that second round pick needs to be a big,
yeah.
like
And we also have
a legit
Shamshay.
7 footer.
We have Shamshay in the wings, who's
Yeah,
coming up in a few
Shamshay
years.
is going to be good, man. I like
Um,
him.
yeah, there's a lot of guys. We like you said. I always say people say, okay, like you have a center or you have a young center, or don't draft another center.
Yeah,
Why not? You know
yeah.
what I mean?
You need size, man, and
You need as much as you
someone's
can.
someone's got to take over for Chris Boucher. Like these guys, we need.
I feel you.
No, I'm not trying to dog him, but I'm saying
No,
like
I know what you mean. It's
we
just
need
funny
someone.
hearing it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And then the
I'm with you.
last one obviously is Jamison Battle.
Yeah,
Um, he's
I
been
think
struggling.
even
He's been
yeah, he
struggling.
has, but he has the skill, right? A
Yeah,
skill set that is not um that popular around the league. A lot of guys
mhm.
take threes, but not a lot of guys are good at
Good
hitting
at
them.
taking threes.
So if you
This
got a
is
good
not
shooter,
bad.
keep him. You don't
He
have to
took
play him, but
12 three pointers, but that's why I'm like, I look at that kid in Sam Hauser in Boston. Where did
yeah,
they find him?
exactly. Where did they find oh man, the kid in Cleveland? Who's a shooter in Cleveland?
Dean Wade.
Wade, yes, Wade. Like you know what I'm saying? Like these guys, Pritchard, Kevin Pritchard. Like
Mm, yeah. So
or is it Kevin or Peyton? I can't remember his name.
Peyton Pritchard.
Peyton Pritchard. Why did I get Kevin
Who
Pritchard?
cares? The Boston Celtics doesn't
Right? He's
matter.
white. He's whatever. I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Anyways,
Yeah, man.
Yes, that is it for us on the Boardman Gets Paid podcast. I
Mhm.
was your host, Andre Lindo. We should be back in it next week if we can,
Yep.
because these
March
games have been kind
Madness.
of terrible. Yeah, we'll talk about March Madness.
March Madness
Uh,
and playoff pictures starting to round out.
yeah, did we talk about Serena Williams being the? I think we did.
The last week,
Serena,
yeah. The last week,
yeah.
yeah.
So it was great. Good game today. And thank you again to our other hosts, regular shows on the podcast. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, concerns, please follow, like,
Yes. Any
subscribe, and
questions?
we'll get
Oh,
right.
also for a little fun game,
Yeah.
if you know any NBA, sorry, not NBA, any players that were in college or high school who you think would have had a crazy NIL deal,
Yeah.
put it in the comments.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good idea, man. A
Who would be
crazy
your
NIL.
yeah, and a very not a popular pick, but like someone that's very obscure.
Like, would Christian Leitner have gotten a deal?
Christian Laettner would have had a bag.
I
What?
don't know, man.
He
I
was
don't
America's
know.
favorite, bro. The man was on the dream team. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
what are we talking? We forgot the Laker coach.
Who's that? Oh, JJ Redick? You know what now?
JJ Redick was nice at
Oh
Dookie,
yeah.
bro.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He
Yeah,
was
yeah.
nice.
No, you're forgetting Tyler Hansbrough, all-time leading scorer in
Psycho T.
college.
Psycho T,
Raptor
bro.
great.
Raptors faithful Psycho
That's
T.
his alumni. There we go.
All right, but anyways, guys, thank you so much, and we'll see you later.
Peace.
Peace.